So you have a piece out online on Washington Post just today giving some advice. And I want to focus specifically maybe on fiscal stimulus, because we heard from Jay Powell, the chairman of the Fed, today saying, okay, we're doing some stuff on monetary policy, but we agree it's probably not enough. What should we be doing on the fiscal side, Larry?
First, anything that stimulates demand may make some contribution, but it's clear that we are hugely ill-prepared for this event if it turns out in an adverse scenario. We don't have enough ventilators. We don't have enough capacity to produce vaccines. We don't have enough space for all the intensive care services that could be needed. So the place to start is with the necessary health investments to help us get through this as effectively as we can, and to put in place a set of apparatus, because this will not be the last epidemic or pandemic that comes our way. And in fact, there's some reason to think that this virus will be back next winter and be back in some form the winter after that. So I think the first place is the health infrastructure. Second, we need not lower interest rates for everyone, for every stock market speculator, but we are going to have to work to assure the availability of credit to everyone who has been victimized in some temporary way by a shortage of cash flows. Think about a tour operator who can't give tours because people aren't allowed to travel. We don't want to see that whole business go out of business. And so designing the right kind of financing facilities that assure continuing availability of finance. Today's interest rates are plenty low. The priority isn't lowering the interest rate. That's a second priority for the expenditure of money. There's been too little discussion of what one might think of as forward defense of the United States. Depending on how successful we are or are not in containing the spread of this pandemic in Mexico, in Latin America, in Africa, that's all going to affect how much is going to incubate and how much is going to spread around the world. And ultimately, that's going to have a big effect on our security.
Right.
So the global dimension, the availability continuously of credit, the necessary health investments, these are all places that should be priorities.